What could Sony possibly do to justify a $200 gamepad? Quite a bit. The Sony DualSense Edge lets you easily rip out its entire joystick modules if they ever develop drift. You can swap out its stick tops for classic convex domes. Here are hair triggers with the flick of a switch. You can remap practically every button in this controller, adjust vibration strength, turn off system keys you might hit accidentally. Rear pedals let you jump or duck or roll or you name it, without ever needing to take your thumb off the stick. Hold down one of these dedicated function keys, and you can swap between 3 programmable profiles you can take to a friend's house or a tournament, where you might also use this clever USB-C locking adapter and included 2.8 meter cable to avoid any wireless interference. But the best part might be this. As far as I can tell, Sony didn't fix what wasn't broke here. It's the same size, the same shape, and it feels like the original DualSense. Only better, thanks to the extra texture on these triggers and these new rubber grips underneath. It's still got the amazing adaptive triggers that let you feel things, like when your car's tires are losing grip, as long as the new hair triggers aren't active. The buttons and D-pads and joysticks all feel practically identical. That could be the same part in a different color, honestly. And yes, I brought my own DualSense from home just to check. In fact, it's not the only gamepad I stuffed into my backpack before driving to PlayStation's US headquarters. I took a walk down memory lane with the DualShock 4 and DualShock 3, whipped out the Xbox 360 pad I still use with my PC, and cursed out Viren under my breath for forgetting to bring his Xbox Elite Series 2. Viren, how could you? But I think the best comparisons are to the DualSense, where it just feels better, even though I prefer the original's white buttons and matte interior. Very similar, but just a little bit more deadened on the edge. It's nice if you want it to feel more precise, less nice if you want it to feel very clicky. Shoulders are almost identical. Triggers. I feel like this one's giving me a little bit more like plasticky sound to it, but with it fully extended, pretty identical. Obviously it's very different when you activate the hair trigger. And I like this texture a lot. Don't tell anyone, but I totally think this Frankenstein setup with the dome stick for movement and the concave for aiming is totally the way to go. And of course there's the Scuf Pro, where its owner Corsair actually worked with Sony to replicate the DualSense's shape, wireless connectivity, and even firmware updates, but where it just doesn't feel as nice, and is missing Sony's adaptive triggers and haptic feedback entirely. And I really don't like the feel of the face buttons on the Scuf compared to DualSense Edge. It's got 4 panels back here. You can pull in and out, as opposed to the 2 on the DualSense Edge, but they do feel very plasticky compared to the nice big metal ones on the Xbox Elite and on the DualSense Edge now. Then there's this PDP Vitrix Pro, an awesome pad with 5 set points for its triggers, stick modules you can rotate for more of an Xbox feel if you like, plus a 6-button module for fighting games. But you gotta use a dongle or a cable because it doesn't natively connect to the PS5 wirelessly. For $200, the Sony would be my pick every time. And yet, I'd like even more if I'm gonna pay half the price of a new PlayStation. For one thing, I'd like more battery instead of less. Sony tells us the Edge's battery life is moderately shorter, quote-unquote, than the original DualSense. Or more customization. I love that Sony allows you to pick from a whole bunch of different stick sensitivity curves, with helpful tips on which might suit your game. But while I enjoyed switching back and forth between shotgun and sniper setups with the flick of a function key and face button, I wish there was a way to set the outside dead zone, not just the inner one. You can remap single keys, but there's no multi-key macros here, and no way to add gyroscopic aiming to games that don't natively support it. Perhaps I've been spoiled by my Steam Deck, where I add gyro aiming and turbo buttons to most games I play. And while it's awesome you'll be able to swap out busted analog sticks for just $20 a pop, you can even fit an extra one in the sleek bundled case, it'd be nice if Sony had thought even further ahead. What about using magnetic Hall effect sensor joysticks instead of these potentiometer ones so they won't succumb to drift? I suppose Sony could sell upgraded stick modules in the future, but the company wouldn't talk about any additional parts in an interview, not even additional tops for the joysticks. But for now, this is the ultimate PS5 controller. None of its competition are a DualSense, and not all of them have a direct wireless connection to your console. Those things automatically make the Edge a front runner for anyone with the $200 to spend. Hey, thanks for watching. You might have noticed I wasn't on camera very much for this video. Long story short, I got into a bit of an accident and my jaw's going to take some time to heal. Hope you still enjoyed the video. See you next time.